Hi everyone. So I'm going over our daily agenda for January 6, 2021. Today we have a little bit more on our plate, so let's get through it. So tomorrow what we will be doing, our essential question is, what is TPACK and how can it help me organize my writing? Really, how can it help you guys organize your writing? Before we get to that, we are going to do our do now, which is going to be just a quick write. So I have your quick write up. It's going to be reflecting on your last 2 days of school. How do you feel and how have you been doing and why? I just want to really see where you guys are at. I know we did a lot of kind of vision boards and looking to the future, but I also want you guys to reflect and see how are we really starting that new year. Take about a sentence or two, just fill that out. And then your second question is, as we're getting into our writing units, it's important to reflect on our skills as writers. What do you feel are your strengths and weaknesses when it comes to writing? This might be, personally, I feel I'm a little bit weaker with my grammar, but I feel like I'm stronger with my creative writing. It could be that sometimes you have difficulty starting, and that's okay. I just want to hear a little bit about you guys. This is, again, another sentence or two. We're going to take about 10 minutes to do this in class. And then we're moving on to what is TPACK. So the TPACK paragraph is composed of these 5 parts. So it has a topic sentence, which is in the purple, a evidence, which is blue, paraphrasing of the evidence, which is green, an analysis of the evidence, which is that kind of yellowy cream color, and then a concluding statement, which is in the red. And I'm going to be going through each one of these, so don't worry if you don't catch it or you don't understand, just this in this one slide. So our first part of that TPACK, when we start wrestling with it, is that topic sentence. In this sentence, you should identify the text, author, and publisher, and state your claim. So state what you know to be true or what concept you learned. So some sentence starters for that are like, so-and-so demonstrates that, or following examples make it evident that, or whatever your claim is, depending on the prompt, depending on what you are responding to as a writer. We will get more examples of this as we go. It's going to be our evidence. So in this section, you should include specific details from the text to support the topic sentence and your claim. This evidence should be quoted or embedded in your sentences. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the evidence you find in your articles. This is what you are going to be including in your paragraphs as a direct citation to your claim. This should help your claim always. Your evidence should always help you as a writer. And then you're going to paraphrase that evidence. So in the previous one, you just wrote down what the evidence was. You just put a quote in there. Now, what you're doing is you're explaining this quote. So act as if you're explaining it to a friend that doesn't understand the quote. So you could quote something from a novel or a text, but then you really have to explain, well, what does that mean to somebody who maybe has never read it or never seen it before? And then you are going to analyze your evidence. So in this section, you should really kind of analyze. Well, you've already explained what the quote means. You've found the quote. You explain what it means. Now you got to analyze. You got to say, why does it matter? How does this support your claim? Does it make you look better? How does it strengthen your writing? And then lastly, your concluding statement. This is just kind of how you wrap it up all in a nice little bow. This goes back to the topic sentence. It goes back to your claim. It says, because of the evidence found, because I've explained the evidence to you, because we've analyzed the evidence, this is why my claim is true. This is why I am correct. And it just really kind of puts a nice bow on it. We're going to have some practice with this in class, but I just want to get that kind of going for you guys. I have a little example here. So, for example, the prompt is Huck Finn an example of a civilized or uncivilized person? In the first sentence, Huck Finn shows evidence of being a civilized person. Already, that's our topic sentence. It not only shows the title or the main character, but it also says what the claim is. The claim is being a civilized person. In the second one, they are showing their evidence, where it's Huck's reaction to Grageford Shepherdson's feud. So they're already referring back to the book. They're referring back to that evidence. That green part is where they're paraphrasing After witnessing a battle in which 2 young boys from one family are shot to death by the adults of another family, Huck feels sick and sorry, and he wants to get out of that awful country. He's kind of explaining a little bit more about the feud. He's going into depth, but he's still using a little bit of evidence, so the student is overlapping here a little bit too. And then analyzing the evidence. So where we see that orange is where Huck does not join with the Grangefors, who has been kind to him but stands in stark relief of his rejection of his actions, therefore proving himself to be an individual ruled by his own moral conscience. A little heavy, a little bit of gibberish, but really what it just means is they're looking deeper. What about this event makes Huck Finn a civilized person? So they're getting deep into it. And then they kind of bring it all together with a nice bow, that concluding statement saying Huck shows that being civilized is more about doing the right thing and obeying a moral code than using formal manners and dressing in fancy clothes. So they're making a statement. Not only is he civilized, he doesn't just have to be civilized by his appearance, but he's civilized by his actions. So this is just an example. This is a little bit more elevated, but ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to see how you can use your TPACKs and make it look beautiful. The student even put a little bit of their TPACK scattered. So I don't expect you all to be writing at that level, but I do expect that you guys are going to be trying to implement these TPACKs in your writing. So we're going to switch gears a little bit. So you guys are going to be writing TPACKs over the next couple days. But this is the article that you guys are going to kind of be unpacking in class, and you're going to be reading the News ELA article, What Do the Kids Say? Students sound off on school during a pandemic. You guys are going to be doing some COVID-related reading about the pandemic and distance learning. A little bit more. This is going to be in your Google Classroom under the TPACK writing. It's going to be a PDF article for you all to access, so that's where you can get it when you need to read it. You're going to do a first reading, and then you're going to go back and do a second reading where you're going to go ahead and annotate the News ELA article. What do the kids say? You're going to annotate it in any of the colors. You're going to annotate it however you feel most comfortable. But I want you guys to get into the practice of, well, let's find evidence. Let's find what would be something good. Let's find something that interests us. Let's find words that we don't know what they mean. So start unpacking that. And then lastly, what questions do you have for me about TPACK and just writing in general? This is going to be a bit of a kind of a heavier day, but we're going to get through it. If you have any, I want you guys to have questions. Let me know where you're confused or where I can help you learn more. But yeah, if you have any questions about how to access any of this information or just need any help, please let me know. Let Ms. Arroyo know, let Ms. Reyes know, and we'll help you out with that. Other than that, I'll see you guys in class tomorrow.